Let me get to Steve Jent. Steve is Executive Director, Sanderson Farms Championship. I'm not sure how much rest you've gotten far. He slept for the first.
He slept.
Steve, good morning, sir. How are you? First of all, congratulations on an incredible event.
Thank you. It was we had a phenomenal week. Didn't see a cloud in the sky for 7 days, and we got a great champion in Mackenzie Hughes last night, and we got a couple extra holes of overtime and 40 extra minutes on the Golf Channel. So it was a phenomenal week for us.
How close do we have going over us? Pulling the plug on this and then extending it?
We probably the playoff plan was to go play 18 twice if we needed to, and then move over and play 10. So we probably could have gotten one more hole in because 10's a par 3. But I think we were losing daylight fast, and we probably would have gone into this morning if Mackenzie hadn't hit that putt on 18, his third time around. So but it was getting close. It was getting dusky.
What were any surprises to you? Some of the surprises from the event itself.
I think the fans. It was probably the largest crowd we've had since I've been here in 9 years, and even Saturday. We weren't sure how the two home football games would do. What that would do to our crowds on Saturday, but man, they were out in droves, and they were all over the golf course. I think it's a very walkable course is the Country Club of Jackson, and you can see a lot of vantage points. So when I would get a chance to go out there, which wasn't very often, the fans were scattered all over the place. It was probably the biggest crowds and the most dispersed crowds I've seen. And then, just some of the noise around 18 was incredible. Yeah. But strongest field we've ever had here, and I think it's just going to keep getting better.
One of the things that I was watching it for a while, Stephen, and I'm not sure if this is true or not because you can't see the whole landscape of this, but it just seems like a lot of parents had brought their kids too, younger kids.
I noticed that also. A lot more kids. I noticed it because they're standing behind 18 screaming for autographs, which is great. And saw one kid whose mom had let him get his face signed. He'll have a nice show and tell at school this morning with that, but. A lot more kids walking around with their parents in groups, and which is what you want to see, right? Let them come out there and enjoy it, and they're the future of the game, and I think it just shows that the tournament is really a family event.
Well, if you're looking for the health of it, and you go by the last examination, the patient is healthy, very, very healthy. Yeah,
if you're saying I'm a patient is what you're saying, which is
no, I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about the golf tournament itself, as far as
no, and it's funny you use the word patient because patients and children are our focus, but it's financially we're giving a lot to charity. It's everything.
Do you have those numbers yet, or is it going to take a while to compile?
Oh no, it'll take. We'll announce them in early January. It takes a long time for us to get our bills paid, for people to pay us, for us to sit down, see what the financials look like, vote on some things as a board.
Yeah.
So it takes. We'll have a board meeting in early December and then make our big announcement in early January.
Along with the Reveille, Mr. Hughes takes Reveille, but and the $7 million purse, how much money does he take home?
He took home just over $1.4 million. Yeah.
That's a good 4 day.
He didn't actually I think the tour deposit. I didn't see him leave with it, but biggest purse we've ever had. It goes up another $200,000 next year. So it was it was a good week for Mackenzie and a good week for everybody.
Perez, you were out there for a couple of days. You had a question or something, or?
No, I just enjoyed it. It was a lovely time this year, but not like Steve said, there was not a cloud in the sky for a week, and that was spectacular.
Yeah,
Steve.
Great weather cures a lot of things, right? Everyone's attitude was great. All week, no. It was just people having a lot of fun. It was
everybody was talking about the condition of the course too. It was just unbelievable.
Oh, I know what it was. Yeah. I was telling you earlier today that the greens were almost as fast as Augusta from what I was reading this week. Did you know that, Steve?
I saw that article also. Yeah, greens were phenomenal players. So like, man, these are so fast. Stuart Singh said, Steve, you'd have huge problems with these greens, and I told him I have huge problems with the tees and the fairways. But but the fairways, some of these guys even said the fairways, you could pick these things up and take them to any other PGA Tour event. So, we're putting our best foot forward, and players choose their schedule based on a couple different things. It's golf course, and does it fit their schedule? And we're doing all the right things to just continue to grow the stature of this tournament.
So the purse goes up again next year, 200,000. You said?
Yes, sir. We'll be 8.1 next year.
Mm. What do you think I hope I'm okay in bringing this up. What do you think the LIV is going to, by the time next year, the maturation of that league and all the changes, is that going to have any bearing at all? Will it help or hurt or not have any difference by the time the next year tournament gets here?
I have no idea. And 7-8 months ago, it didn't even happen. It wasn't even happening, right? I don't know. You kind of learn in life you can only worry about what you can control. So I'm not worried about anything. I mean, they're an exhibition tour with 48 players, and don't know if what their schedule is next year, if they're going to put one of their events up against it, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, I think for the people of the city of Jackson, we'll still have 144 of the best players in the world here, and I just don't know how or if it even impacts us, really.
And I know we say this, but it is true that you take a deep breather, but you start working on next year's almost immediately and putting these things together. And if there's some of you folks out there who went and said, man, I'd love to be a part of this and I want to get on the ground, I want to make sure next year, well, then don't wait till 2 months before the next tournament. Contact Steve now and get it done.
Right now. I mean, our pro-ams, we've given our pro-ams are both sold out. And we only can have 28 teams on Monday. We can only have 58 teams on Wednesday. So they're all sold out. So we've given our current team, sponsors that have current teams until the end of November to renew. After that, they're going to be open to the public. But the beautiful thing about, my stadium, if you want to call it that, versus another, is that we basically can build, at a certain point in time, we build what we sell. So if a company says, man, it looks great, I want to bring 15 people out there every day to entertain, if it's more than I had this year, I just make things a little bit bigger. And that's not and then, but you're right. We start today. I'm sitting out here at the country
Can't do it
club.
Overnight. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we don't do it overnight. So I'm sitting out here at the country club we're getting ready to tear things down here for the next month or so.
Anything that you'll do differently next year, or is that just a work in progress?
Beg your pardon?
Anything that you'll do differently next year, or is that just a work in progress?
Yeah, I think hospitality could look a little bit different, and that's kind of always based on what we sell. If this venue is a little more popular than the other, and that's why we get right, we can make things different. That's why we get right back at it. We get at about, our group that arrives to build everything on course arrives about 2 months out. So we've got to have commitments from folks at about that point, so we know what kind of equipment to bring and what to
Steve,
build.
Can you hold on for a second, because the computer's going to cut us off. Hold on 1 second. Be back in just a moment. Let me get back to Steve Jent, Executive Director of Sanderson Farms Championship. You were mentioning as far as hospitality is concerned, and again, it's one of those things that evolves. But the next one, I was just wondering, as far as food and everything else and the hospitality, the changes possibly next year.
I don't know that piece of it changes as much. The food. I mean, we still work through the Country Club of Jackson and another concessionaire group, but I think we always look at it each year and say, okay, what's included with their hospitality package, the pricing of everything, the tickets, and then, are there any other holes we can take a look at and build some venues on? 18 is probably, we can go a little bit farther maybe down the right side, but unless we start to double decker things, 18 is pretty much there. But then you take a look at a couple different holes. Can we do more on 9? Can we do? It's hard to build on 17 because you've got power lines, going right across the golf course. But yeah, I mean, we'll sit down and evaluate it all, and again, we tend to build what we sell.
Yep.
And so that's why, like we just talked about, we'll clean up a little bit and we'll go right at talking with sponsors about what they're interested in doing for 2023.
Let me throw this one out from Mitch. Mitch in Brookhaven. He said, transportation to and from the NP North Park parking to the course was nothing short of perfect, fast and efficient. Thank you, Mitch in Brookhaven. That's pretty good. Yeah,
that's great. That's a great feedback to hear. Thank you, Mitch. I mean, versus what it could the other option of
yes.
comment could be, right?
I read it slow, so you would have a little angst at the first part of that, and it makes you happier at the end.
Yeah. Whew, look at the time. No. Yeah. I mean, North Park is close, right? So.
Yeah.
And it's very short. We've got a lot of parking there, and we thankful for the partnership with them. And then we've got multiple shuttles constantly running.
I got you.
And then we use Christ United, Methodist Church for our volunteers and our accessible parking, and everything's relatively close here. So I'm glad to get that feedback because I honestly I've never been on one of our shuttles. I have absolutely no time to do it.
We did that last year. I think we did it last year. Rode the bus, and it was a heck of a lot more convenient. It really was.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned on C Spire text line was there a hole in one?
I believe on Thursday there were actually two.
Really?
I think 7. I think hole 7. There's 2 of them. MJ Duffy and the other player escapes me. So yeah, but I did not hear of one Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I got you.
But 2 players on the same hole on the same day.
Would you come back and join us again when you get the numbers in and share that because that's all the charities and it's unbelievable the impact it has as far as turning what was a great family day on Sunday or Saturday, whenever you happen to go, into helping kids at the Children's Hospital. So when you get those numbers, please come back and share them with us.
I would love to do it, and I know we'll be proud of them.
Steve, congratulations to you, sir, and the incredible staff there. It's a massive undertaking, but you guys are pros and did a great job. Thank you, man.
Thank you, and y'all have a great here with some more football this offseason, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
You got it. Steve Jent, Executive Director, Sanderson Farms Championship.